Welcome to Chandwell and day 5 of the big Bradford Cathedral N-scale card model push when I'm off work, spending all the time doing modelling. Almost towards the end now of this week, but I'm doing the textures. So I talked a little bit about those yesterday. This interesting hooked texture is all for going around the tops of the buttresses. So if you can see this buttress here, because it loops around the top and goes behind the crenellation, it's designed to fit on just like that. So that will glue on in a minute. But you can see there, by doing it like that, if I can get the camera in, it makes it look as though the buttress comes up and then over, and then it makes it look like the crenellations are built into the buttress. You can see how I've done it on this one here. It's quite an effective way of doing it. So I'm working my way around, adding textures to the buttresses. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 to do. And then I'm going to come round and put the plinth along the bottom. So with the buttresses dressed, I thought it was time to put the lower plinths on. So the plinths essentially stick out the bottom like this, and I've done them over here and here as well. It's a little bit subtle, you can't quite tell it's sticking out on the screen, but it is, and it actually does work, give the whole thing a bit of a solid sense of 3D-ness. So I've got 12 pieces printed out onto 0.5mm card, just a case of putting a piece on, putting it on, and just working my way around the aisle. Once I've done the aisle, I'll do the porch, and then I'll do the transept. I think it's about 32 pieces in all. Here's the first one, glued up, ready to go, and it should just slot into here. On there like that. And then we'll add the texture later on in the top lip. So just work my way around onto the buttress next. So number 2, it's just a little one. That will go on there like that. I decided I probably won't put a lip on the top actually now I see it on, so I've just coloured in the top with the watercolour pencil. The real one does have a tiny little lip sticking out, but you know, with doing it in card, it's just a little bit over scale, so I think that actually looks quite good, so I'll do that. Obviously, when working out the dimensions of all of these pieces, I've got to take into account the piece that's already gone on. So I make it so that each one overlaps. So this one overlaps in that direction, but not that direction. The next one that goes on will overlap this one to bring it nice and square. And then I'll just keep on working around like that, and you'll see the overall effect once I'm done. It can seem quite tedious, this endless sticking on of little bits of card, but similar to adding roof tiles when it's time to do the roof tiles, it's very repetitive, very monotonous, and just requires absolutely no brain work whatsoever. The brain work is used when getting the sizes right, and as long as you've got the sizes right, everything just slots into place without any kind of thought being required. And I do just love sitting here doing this kind of thing. After all the complexities of working out the dimensions and the window recesses and all of that kind of stuff, just having an hour sticking on tiny little bits of card like this without giving it any thought whatsoever, it's incredibly relaxing and very, very satisfying. Just one more to go. I will check that the measurement is right on this one, because it all depends on the size of the buttress of the plinth on the aisle. Yes, this one doesn't fit. This one needs trimming down a little bit. Now, that's a little bit disappointing. I thought that was... Oh, no, it isn't. That was above this one, wasn't it? It was the line that goes under here that's the same height as this. That one's higher than that. I talked about this a couple of days ago, so yeah, that's right. So I just need to trim off a little bit of this, and then that will slot in, and then I can go around again with the texture. So there's the first bit of texture on, and just look at the difference it makes. Already the surface of the aisle is starting to look much more 3D, much more, I don't know, solid, real somehow. It's always amazing just how much of a difference these little changes make. Once I've done all of these, there's going to be another line, a string course going along just under the windows I think it goes around the buttress as well, so that'll be an interesting challenge. And that goes all the way around, and that'll just have the effect of making it look something like this, like I've talked about on my layer videos many times. Small changes, huge impact. So only one bit to do. This has taken me nearly 2 hours, so that's 2 hours to put the texture on 3 of the 4 buttresses, then the plinth along the bottom of the aisle, and then the texture on the plinth. Each piece needs to be cut carefully, and then the exposed paper edges need to be coloured in with a watercolour pencil, and then they need to be perfectly, or as best as I can, lined up. But I think you'll agree, or I hope you'll agree, that the time is worth it. I mean, where it goes around the buttress there just makes it look really nice, doesn't it, when you see it from up here? This piece took a little bit of fettling to get right. If you can see, I've taken 2 notches out of the right-hand side. That is so that it fits around the plinth that's coming out of the wing. So that should fit in there just right, and look as though the two buildings are joined together properly. Excellent. Okay, I'll get that one glued on, and then I'm going to take a break, and then I'll upload this video, I think, and then the rest of the day is just going to be repeating all of this for the porch and the transept. So I don't expect to get much more done than that today, but join me this afternoon anyway, and we'll see what mishaps and accidents happen. Bye for now.